So Selma went from practically zero in his business to over $20,000 a month as a 20-year-old dating and men's lifestyle coach. So it's been a really, really cool experience watching him grow. He really kind of joined our program and started taking this seriously when, in his own words, and you'll see this in the interview, he had one of his clients like chew him out for not responding to a text quick enough. And he was like, this is too much. I can't do this. I need to figure out a way to hold better for him in my client relationships, to do better as a business owner and get them better results and charge more and have a better client experience and really scale the business. And so that's what we were able to help him do. And you'll hear exactly what he's done in this past 2 or 3 months and how you can replicate his results in this interview. So whether you are a dating coach or a business coach or a whatever it is that you do for your clients, whatever you're passionate about that you enjoy helping other people with, you can glean a lot from this interview because Stelna had a lot of opportunity on his calendar. He actually has a TikTok audience and he booked like 30 or 40 sales calls from that audience, but he only sold like one of them. So he sold 1 out of 40. And he was considering hiring a sales agency, but we actually decided to tell him, no, don't do that. You need to learn how to convert these yourself and then actually build your team the right way long term, passing that skill down to them, which now he's upgraded and he's working directly with me to build out his team, and we're going to be doing that over the next few months. And so he should be coming back for another interview when he's doing $60, $70, $80,000 a month. So anyway, welcome to the channel, Selma. You guys are going to glean a lot from this interview about how to quickly scale your coaching business from zero and some of the mental hurdles that you need to go through to get there and some of the tangible action items. So watch it in full. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Congratulate Selma on his success, and be sure to book your free one-to-one consultation call directly with myself or my team if you're even just curious about what we do and how it all works, or you're excited about leveling up your consulting, coaching, or advice business and you want to scale it to that $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month mark where you're already there and you'd like to see it above $1 million a year in profit. I know these are big claims and these are big things, but you can look back at our channel. We've got an incredible track record, and just like Selma, you could recreate these sorts of results. So enjoy the interview, let us know what you think in the comments, and watch the whole thing because you're going to glean a lot from it. All right, Selma, welcome to the channel, dude. Long time coming.
Yeah, man, dude, thanks for having me on again.
Absolutely. The previous interview we had, we basically just shared how you were able to get a bunch of calls from your TikTok audience. And the issue was, and it's just me speaking for you, but obviously correct me where I'm wrong, like they weren't closing anywhere near the rate that we knew they should be for you to really have a sustainable, business model. So you got like 20, 30, 40 calls or something and closed very few of them. And so we've worked with you closely over the past few months to get that closing rate up to, now I imagine it's like 20, 25% or something like that, but you wrapped up your first $20,000 month last month, which is phenomenal. So tell you more about what's happened in the past few months, dude.
Yeah, man. So I don't know who watched the last interview at all, but yeah, dude, came here from, I forget how I saw you, man, but dude, I just came in your DMs, dude, slid in the DMs. I was like, dude, need help. Was only making like 1 to 2K a month, I believe, 2K at most. Had a really low ticket offer, like $60 an hour. Dealing with really just rude, annoying, disrespectful clients at that rate.
Yep.
And that's when I came to you guys, and I think it was like last November, I believe, November, December, and for the first month I started working with you guys, literally started like just made like an entire program, made an entire course, and like got everything set up. And then I think like December, January hit, had like a 6K month, and that was like me not really knowing what I was doing with very minor, like minor selling skills or anything. And yeah, dude, but we're getting a lot of calls. I actually got this, and I'll show you really fast, but we got this obviously a lot, right? And so we're bringing in like 40 sales calls in one night and closing like one of them, which is like a terrible rate. And so we started working on the selling skills, and then I had my first 10K month, which is obviously, like now you're getting on like nurse practitioner level, PA level, like you're making more than PAs. And I was like, well, nah, dude, like I want more, man. I was like, I want more. Like, and so I worked with Jeremy like a lot, dude. Like, shout out Jeremy.
And just for the tour, Jeremy's one of our coaches.
And he had a really good day yesterday, apparently, man. I've been seeing on the story.
Yeah, bro, 40 grand in a trust. Yeah, he's a killer.
I know, man. I've been like putting like fire emojis on all the stories. But yeah, man, I worked with him. Like shout out, like I said, man, shout out Jeremy because he helped me a lot. Um, just with like closing, and then had my first 20K month, and it could have been 25K. It could have been a 25K month because literally April 1st hit, and then I got like another 5K in the bank like the next day.
Call it a 25K.
And I was like, oh man, I was like, I wish I could count that, but
We'll call it a 25K month. Did the prospect that paid the 5K on April 1st, was the call on April 1st, or was he paid from a call 3 days ago?
those were, I think half of it was like like in the accounts receivable. So it was like someone with like a payment plan. So it's like they're paying like half now, half for like the next month or whatever. And so I mean, it counts for this month too, man. We'll probably do it again anyway. So there's already like 6K in accounts receivables coming anyway. So I want to hit it again.
Well, if I put 25K in the title, don't hate me.
It's like 23 or whatever to be exact, but whatever, man. Like, money is money. So, at the end of the day, like 24 hours later, they say with like banks, there's like, the 30-day grace period. So we can have that.
There you go. That's true. So what exactly did we fix in your sales process then? Talk to the viewer about, because you're in a unique situation that maybe not a lot of people will relate to. You've got a lot of opportunity, but the sales ability just isn't there. And this is the thing. We hear this all the time. Hey, I need more appointments. I really don't think you do, because you haven't made a single sale of what you actually sell. They're like, oh, I just need more sales. No, one a day for 6 months and getting your rate up to 30%, closing those is going to serve you way more than us giving you some magic pill to swallow where you'll wake up to 50 meetings. And Selma is an example of that, where you had like 40, 50 meetings and it brought in almost nothing. And so just through kind of the mental hurdles, because I don't even really know what your conversation with Jeremy looked like, to be completely honest. I just totally trust him. So almost as if you're informing me for the first time of what he's done for you and what we've done for you. Walk me through the transformation.
Yeah, man. I think, because I worked with Brandon a little bit too. And of course, like me and you on the Friday calls and everything. And so like Jeremy, he more taught me, because me and Jeremy, like I'm in the dating niche, as some people know, some people don't know. And it's like me and Jeremy kind of established that, dude. He's like, honestly, like dating and like closing sales, they're like pretty parallel actually. Like how you like actually go on a date and everything versus like actually closing someone on a sale, pretty parallel. And so I think he taught me more of just like going back to like what I'm actually originally teaching, and actually being like more like a stoic doctor, as he put it, because I was very reactive on my calls. Like they'd be like,
dig into that. You just said a lot. Stoic doctor, what does that mean? Being reactive on your calls, what does that mean?
Yeah, man. So being reactive, basically what that means to me is like, like somebody would be like, oh, like I just got dumped by my girlfriend. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, really? Like, it's horrible, man. I'm so sorry. Versus like, oh, like tell me more about that. Like how to make you feel. Versus like just being calmer instead of like, like being so reactive about it. And I think that helped tremendously, man. And like it's such a little thing, but it helps so much. And like the one thing I think I was doing wrong is I was being very robotic, like going by the script. And then Brandon kind of showed me, he was like, dude, you should just like be more natural in your conversations, man. Just like, okay, well, tell me where you're at now, and dig more, really find that pain points, and really just like press on it, elaborate on that so much that, by the time they get to the end of the call, like, when you pitch your offer, like it's really just like a no-brainer at that point. And so Brandon really helped me with that. And I think you helped me a lot, man. Like one of the most important things was just my mindset, man. And it was just like being, I guess, more abundant, because I remember on our last call together, on the group call, I was telling you, I was like, something's in me. Like, what if I just like stop making money? What if it just stops? There was like that in the program, in the mindset program, there's like the chart where it's like, we get to like a certain level in income. We're like, oh man, I'm making too much money, man. Like I'm making too much money. You kind of get scared of it. And I think I was aware of that. And like, you really helped me kind of just like bust through that. Cause like 10K was like my mark where I was like, dude, I'm making 10K. I'm making bank. And then I think that I started hitting that level, and I started to get a little bit scared. Started to get a bit like, oh my God, man, it's getting kind of scary, man. I'm actually making money, dude. I'm making more money than all my parents and my family, like everybody. They can't believe it. when I'm telling them this, you know, they can't believe, like my grandfather is like blown away, man, when I'm showing him like my stats. He's like, you made 20K from your computer?
Yeah.
It's like blowing his mind.
Yeah.
You know, and so
And so it
I
probably
think
felt
like
like an identity misalignment there for a minute that you had to work through. It's like, I don't know if I deserve this almost, right?
yeah, man, it's definitely like I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know if I can keep this going. Was like a even bigger one.
Mhm.
That's the one I was telling you about on the calls. I don't know if I can keep this going, but it's like it just doesn't even make any. You're just like, well, like instead of thinking that way, why aren't you just like, how do I grow it more? How do I continue? How do I get to like 40K, 30K,
Yeah.
40K?
You can only go so far avoiding a negative in your head, right? Instead
Exactly.
of like,
Yeah.
how do I stop being so anxious all the time? It's like, what can I appreciate about the world around me right now? You
Mm-hmm.
know, two completely different questions that lead to completely different states of mind. And in the
Yeah.
same way,
Yeah.
oh, what if my business stops? Oh, what if things stop coming in? Which, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we're all human, we don't have those thoughts. But if you can just
Mm-hmm.
learn to be aware of that and notice that that's actually a pretty negative thought seed that will turn into negative action and negative result.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, what should I be doing right now to guarantee the growth of my business? And then you're going to
Yeah.
find a lot of little activities, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I was listening, like, I don't know, I saw you have like a book on your bookshelf, Tony Robbins, you know who that is, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I was listening to like something by him too, and he was basically saying like a lot of people think like money will, you know, money basically, like I feel like this program really helped me see like my own like flaws and weaknesses even more like magnified, that I can like help them and fix them. Because I was like, basically when I started making more money, like now it's like I already have like 6K in the bank for this month, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
like more than what like nurses and pretty much
Like a few days in,
medical people
you know?
work. Yeah. And it's like, you know, then I'll go back to like, what if I stop making money? What if I stop making money? And so I think this has like really helped me. You really helped me a lot, man, with just being comfortable with actually making that money and being confident in it too, and just being how do I grow it now? Because now I'm just like, dude, like I want to get to like 30K, 40K, like, and like now it's almost like I've gotten to like a new, like when you get to like a new level, it's like the competition's faster, stronger, you know, heavier hitters. Now I'm just like, damn, I was like 20Ks, man, it's like almost nothing. I gotta
Yeah.
keep growing. I gotta
Well,
keep going.
one favorite affirmation. I've got two affirmations that run through my head. Like, one is business is fun and easy, and I'm really good at it. That's
Hmm.
one. Business is fun and easy, and I'm really good at it. It's like my favorite like thing to tell myself. It's just like,
I love that. Yeah.
if that's true about myself, then like I can make as much money as I want whenever I want. And that is actually true, that I can kind of make as much money as I want whenever I want. Like literally
Hmm.
3 days ago, I texted the sales team like, hey, just run this little promo to a bunch of leads. And like it's like 10K in my bank right there, like 2 hours later. So it's just like,
Wow.
yeah, man. So you just, and actually that's not even that much, you know. Then yesterday, Jeremy does
Hmm.
more. We're coming up on 100 this month already. We're like barely 10 days in. So yeah, dude,
Exactly.
it's nuts. And so,
Yeah. I
but
also
at
like I wanted to add
the
this in there.
time, it's not nuts,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
'Cause it's
Exactly.
numbers.
Yeah.
Business doesn't at all.
And I remember, excuse me for interrupting, but I'm also like, I'm taking my girlfriend to Washington this weekend on April 15th, because we're gonna go to like there's like a tulip festival. Basically it's like just like fields of like just like red and pink and like, you know, yellow like flowers and everything. I was like, dude, it sounds really fun. And this program also gave me the freedom to be able to just be like, oh, it's just like 2K. Just, here's my card, just take it and buy it, you know, versus like before when I was making that like 1.5K a month or whatever. I'm just like, oh gosh, man, like that's a lot of money, man. Like,
Yeah, well, it's funny, man. I've been around some extraordinarily wealthy people, especially for their age. You know, guys in their young 20s, and they've got,
mm-hmm,
you know, liquid millions, and every time, man, if they drop 100,000, they're not seeing it as 100,000. They see it as like, what email campaign can I write to make that back, or
mm-hmm,
how
mm-hmm.
many videos do I got to put up to make that back, or
Yeah,
it's not 100. It's not 100,000. They measure it completely differently, and I've learned to do the same thing. Where, you know, like $50,000 isn't $50,000. That's like one decent week. You know,
exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's so true.
start to measure it very differently. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because that's like my mindset too. Is like when I saw like 2K go out of my bank, I was kind of just like, oh, okay, well, I'll make that back up this week plus some. So I'm not really tweaking about it at all, and I already did anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and so it just feels good, man. It feels good to look at your bank account. You're just like, wow, It's a cool number, man.
You're just
It's
getting
a cool
started
number.
though. You're barely 4 months into this process, dude. You give yourself 3 or 4 years, you're gonna be a 7-figure earner, no doubt.
Absolutely, man. I want to get there so quickly. And now we've gotten to the point now to where it's like we're having dude, we've been going ridiculous on TikTok, man. We got like 100,000 followers in the past, like, I think 2 weeks.
That's great.
And we're posting another video today where it's just like simply Dylan helped me with this too. Shout out Dylan, man. I can't believe I forgot Dylan. He's gonna watch this and be like, man, why? Like, but no, shout out Dylan, man. Like, he helped me really just like, because he was just like, dude, like you have 500,000 on TikTok, dude. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be at least making 10K a month pretty easily.
Yeah.
And so he helped me with the process of just like getting them in here, like, getting them from TikTok to my DM. And just like that simple process alone, man, it's just like literally just posting a video once a week on TikTok. I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, DM me on Instagram if you need help. And we get like 500,000 messages a week. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then I have a setter now because you told me a little bit about the DM. You're like, we're gonna start expanding the team a little bit. And so that's been really helpful. So I got a setter now, an IG manager. And so he just goes through all that stuff and really sets them for me. And so, dude, it's been, and this is only like 4 months into the program. So it's completely revolutionized just my vision on business, my career, my life. My parents are blown away, like just looking at it, like, so it's beautiful, man. So thank you, dude. Thank you.
Absolutely. And since you're local too, I need to, do you have a good accountant?
Like for taxes, or like, what are you talking about specifically?
Taxes and bookkeeping and everything.
Yeah, so I have a tax guy. I'm not really sure how good he is. Just kind of he's from my school and just kind of just like.
I'll give you mine. Yeah.
Okay, please do.
Yeah. After we're done with the recording, I'll just shoot you a referral.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great because he's like, I don't know. I just don't really, just a regular tax guy. So I want one that's like for me.
It's real sharp. You're gonna start making a lot of money really quick, and you want to know that you got somebody that's in your corner. So
yeah, absolutely. We just actually just set another call now. So actually just popped it on the screen. So they're coming in, man. We're on the call.
I love it, dude. So really, just to give the viewer maybe a timeline, I feel like I'm sure they could piece this together themselves. They're not idiots, but like,
yeah.
You join and you're doing a little bit of it. It's like 1,000 to 2,000 a month, and that's a lot of like, I bet that's a lot of hourly billings, like $100 an hour or like $200 for this, and just tiny projects like that. And large in part because you didn't know how to hold the frame on your sales calls. You didn't know what your offer was. You didn't really know how to create content that warmed up leads. You built an audience, but how do you actually create content that's like, oh, I need to work with Selma without them feeling pitched and then leaving your content? There's an art to that.
Oh yeah.
And it was learning how to set calls. We set like 40 calls your first weekend doing that, which was really cool to see. But I knew seeing it, I'm like, this is going to be a lesson for you. You need to learn how to sell. And so after 3 months, we've worked with you more closely. Jeremy and Brandon on my team, our coaches, our sales coaches primarily, they've kind of broken down those calls, told you what you're doing wrong, helped you, gone through our sales training and our mindset training. And that's helped you turn that opportunity into, a $20,000-$25,000 a month business in less than 3 or 4 months. Am I correct on all that?
Yeah. Perfect recap. So,
cool. So what are next steps? What does the next 12 months look like for you? What would you say?
Oh man, the next 12 months. I made a vision board and I really want to just move into a really nice, beautiful condo in the city, man, with just like floor to ceiling windows.
Take my
really want that. Yeah, man, I was looking at above the Condado taco place, I believe, right?
That's the one, dude. It's actually probably available right now. So
yeah, man, dude, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, man. The windows and everything. It's what I've wanted. I don't know if I'll be there forever, probably not. But right now, if I got the money, I want to go reward myself a little bit and check something out like that.
It grew me a lot. It raised my standards. I was making about 20 when I moved in there. It's about $4,000 a month. So
yeah, you said that you got tired of that, right?
Yeah, I got really tired paying for it. Because at some point you could start seeing, when your business grows, you start seeing money spent as lost opportunity because you start to recognize how you can be leveraging your money back into the business.
Yeah.
So, it's like I've got, now I live off of like $5,000 a month. So no way I could have done that back then, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing, just really quickly too, like the one thing I think that like made me reach out to you specifically, like the pain point that I reached was, I think it was like I was working with this guy well, this was like a week or two before I reached out to you on Instagram. It was like this guy was working with him from Paris, and he was paying me like $60 an hour to coach him. And like one night, like I didn't I was visiting my girlfriend in Texas, and we were about to go out for dinner. And like even at that time, I'm like, gosh, like a $50 dinner, man. Like I don't even know if I can afford it, you know, just tweaking about it. And this guy, like he DMs me, he's like, you haven't gotten back to me in 24 hours. So, you know, like I'm done doing business with you, like we're done. And like from that moment, like my girlfriend even saw, I was just like so pissed off in like my face. And like I was just like, dude, like something's gotta change, man. Like something's gotta change. And I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, dude, it's like something's just like I'm not doing something right here. Like, and so that's, I think I reached out to you, man. It's like probably like the next week, right when I got back home from Texas, like, okay, I need a mentor, man. I got like 5K saved up. I need a mentor. Like I need somebody. And luckily I got on the call, man. It was 5K exactly at that moment. And so I was like, all right, let's just do it. Take out the plunge and do it. And so that's what like the pain point triggered me. And I was also doing door-to-door sales, which a lot of people don't know as well. And I was like, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. And so I saw you guys.
So it's really a client mistreating you and abusing your time that you're like, all right, like
yeah. It was,
my value.
Do this.
I'm not doing a good enough job at displaying the value I can bring to somebody's life.
Yeah. And so it's like you guys definitely helped me, and also even other people like see the value, and actually them doing this, you know, helped me see the value. Because like I genuinely believe, man, like that my program is the best in the world, you know, for helping guys with their dating life. And I know, I feel like you feel like that about yours as well. You're just like, I genuinely believe this program will help millions of people.
Totally. Absolutely.
And so you guys help me see the confidence in it.
It's very cool. It's very cool. So what's your advice to somebody who might have been in your situation? Say, put yourself back in the shoes of yourself when you had that client message you and it ruins date night and head for days. So like put yourself back in that person's shoes. What did that person need to hear? Maybe give the viewer some advice by speaking to him.
Yeah, man. Don't an hour dealing with that, an hour dealing with people like that is an hour too much. So cut them off and go hire Trey like right now. Like it's really all I gotta say about it. Like it's just like, dude, you're torturing yourself. You're gonna deal with that for another week or two, or even a month, 6 months of your life, dealing with penny pinchers, poor people, you know, broke people, you know, that are just disrespecting your time. It's like, dude, just the 5K is worth it, man. At the end of the day, like the 5K or the 10K or whatever is worth it. Like just invest in the program, dude, because you can make that back in about 3 weeks if you really work your butt off and do it. You make that back in ASAP. It's like I already made that money back times a lot more. I can't do the, you know, it's like, dude, just hire the mentor, man. Just don't be it. How do you expect to make money if you can't even invest money? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's like, invest in the program. Like I did my research too, man. Like I said in the last video, I was talking to some guy like from Britain or whatever about ClickFunnels. He's like, oh, we need someone who's making like at least 12K a month, like to invest with us. And I was talking to some other guy about making money or whatever. Like, and then something just stood out to me about the way you talk, the way you did things. I was like, I feel like this guy, he could it. It's not all about the money to him. It's about really just like actually being genuinely happy while actually making the money on the side. And that's really just what I was looking for, you know. It was probably like, honestly, when I look back in 20, 30 years, man, I think that this program is going to be at least one of the top 3 investments I ever made in my life. That's why I really expect that.
It's very cool to hear. I'm honored, dude. Well, you're an incredible client, dude. And I think you're gonna, no doubt you'll be at 7 figures. So appreciate your time. And I think this is a stellar interview. And I think I'll wrap up by just saying, you know, look, like a lot of people think that opportunity is what's needed, like a big audience is what's needed. Big audience with no offer, no sales, in my view, is a more crippling situation unless you have a lot of control over your headspace, like we've helped someone with, and a really good offer, really good at sales, and just doing some manual prospecting. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I imagine you had those 40 calls come in, closed like, what was it, like 2 or 3 of them? And
I don't think it was 2 or 3. I think it was like 1 or 2 at most.
So you close, okay, let's say 2 then. So you have 40 calls come in, you close 2. I bet that's pretty horrible. Felt like a long
Yeah.
time you just spent.
When I got the first 1,000 in my bank or whatever, because it was like the first one I ever closed was like a payment plan. I was like, this is really cool. But then I contacted you. You're like, oh, you only closed like one or two of those guys. Like,
And
I
then
need some work.
you were looking at hiring like a sales company or something, right? And then I was like,
Yeah.
no. This is a skill you have to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to hop on a call with like a sales team. Like, yeah, we'll take your calls for you. And I was like, Trey, like in 10 minutes, man, I got a call. So like, let me know like what you think about this. And you're like, no, like cancel the call. And like,
You have to do that. That is something you have to do. Like, I can honestly say that the skill that has served my career more than anything is sales. Because not only do I sell clients, and I sell clients on me, I sell clients on us, on our programs, I sell them on doing the work, I sell them on taking the actions, I sell them on believing on themselves. And then I sell my team on working for me, and I sell my team on serving my clients. And everything is sales, right? And so, this going through that, that grind of, you've probably taken over 100 calls now.
oh, dude, gosh, it's probably way more than that. It's probably like 200 or 300, I'd say.
It's good. It's good. I bet you've got so much data there. And then hiring a sales team, right? And when you do grow your team and when you do put people in place, and we're able to help you do that, you just show them the recordings. You literally just say, hey, here's everything I would do. And like John Maxwell has the stages of delegation. I think I've talked about this in our Friday group calls a few times.
Yeah.
Like stage 1 is you are able to do it. Stage 2 is you do it and the person you're training watches you. Which is, they listen to the recordings and maybe you give them some coaching while you're listening. Tell them what you're thinking, why you're saying what you're saying. Stage 3, it's, they do it with you there, right? So maybe you don't take the call, or they take the call and you immediately give feedback right after the call. Stage 4 is they do it and they're held accountable like to your numbers. And stage 5 is they do it and they just report to you weekly, right? And I think my team is pretty much all at stage 5 with some exceptions, with being at like stage 4.
Gotcha.
It's very freeing. It's very freeing, but you have to do this yourself first.
Yeah. And honestly, like I really value doing that too. Cause at the moment I was like, Trey, tell me to do it myself. What the heck's he talking about, man? And then like, I was like, all right, like he's right though. Cause like if people know me, man, like I am stubborn, but I was like, all right, like I gotta do what he says, man. Cause like, that's my mentor at the end of the day, man. Like just trust his process. Cause he knows what he's doing. So I did it. Now my sales, I think I'm at like 20% at least right now, close rate, which is really good.
So we run at about 25, some 30, like that's completely 20 to 30 is the range, because half just aren't going to buy just because they're legitimately broke and have no credit. Just nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's most people, You lose half people there. The other half, they're ready to go. So the other half is split in half. They're like, they're ready to go and they'll pay, or they're ready to go. They know they need to do this, or one of many reasons gets in the way. And a few that I've observed are just like, they're comfortable. That's the first one. They're comfortable. They don't really want to change. They don't really want to. The other one is ego. They don't want to credit their results to somebody else, which I personally actually really understand. And I really do get that one. And so when I'm talking with a prospect and that's the case, I'm like, I get it, man. I won't talk about you publicly. Like, just join our program. I don't need you. I don't need to market your stuff. Just join. The other one, so it's like, comfortable, ego. And then the final is like just basically delaying it because it kind of goes back to the first one, actually, comfortable, but they delay it because it's uncomfortable. So it's like a fake yes. It's like, yes, I'll move forward. I'll sign the contract. I'll move in a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 2 months or whenever. They have the finances and everything. They're just like, oh, I'll do this when X. But every time when I dig into what that thing is, it's just an excuse because, again, they're comfortable and making the financial decision is often uncomfortable. And so just a lot of, I think you've learned that art of holding the people accountable to what they're telling you on these calls. Cause it's like, look, man, you've told me that for the past 2 years, you've gotten 2 dates the entire time.
Yeah.
One was decent, but the relationship didn't move forward. Like you're in the exact same position this guy was when he joined. And so if you're legitimately comfortable with where you are, so be it. But it's just $3,000 compared to the ability to actually go out and land the relationship that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And also have a guarantee that if you don't do that, there's like, I don't know if you do this, but we do like literally if you don't get results of their program, we give you like money back. You have to do the work though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. And so it's just like holding them accountable to their words almost. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. And I fully understand that. And it's like, honestly, like, that's why I don't really mind coming on here and doing these calls and everything, is because like, dude, if it's like kind of interesting, because like if I told you can't use me as like a testimonial, or like, I don't want to be seen as like a, your client, I guess, and I'd be like, I'm kind of going against my own words with the people I work with, then
yeah.
like,
Well, also like if you want pro advice, like tell the people you're investing into, like I want to be a case study for you. I will open. You can market me openly. You'll get better results with them because I've thrown $50,000 at masterminds. And I'm like, yeah, like it's like we're doing work that will pay off 2 years from now with these masterminds. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
mm-hmm.
3-day push, email marketing. No, it's like I'm learning how to become like a leader of my team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like and stuff. And like, yeah, I will happily come onto your podcast, come onto your YouTube, and be like, you are the reason why we do 3 million a year as opposed to 500,000. You are and I will happily. So anyway, dude, I think this has been a cool interview. I appreciate your time once again, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude. Thank you for bringing me on, and I'm glad I could actually be here and be a success story.
Yeah, just more to come, dude. I think we'll do a third one when you hit 100,000 in a month, which shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That'll be one heck of it. I'll probably be in like Vegas at that time, but
sounds good, man. Well, the call will end. Just the recording will end. So we'll hang out here for a sec. But thanks for your time, dude.
Awesome. Of course.